just released, one state wants to increase Social Security payments to millions of its residents. I'm going to let you know which state that is. Also, we're going to hear from multiple Congress members talking about the increase of benefits and expansion of Social Security in Congress. I'm going to play the speeches.
These programs save lives, and they have secured our elders for generations. And New Mexicans and all Americans should be able to live without fear that politicians here in Washington are going to use their lives for political gain.
I'll play the full video clips of what was said there, and I'll give you some other important updates as well. Before I dive into the main content, if you appreciate these Social Security updates, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more Social Security updates. So when it comes to Social Security, we're going to go over this article. One state wants to increase Social Security payments for millions. Before we get into that, I just want you to see what is being said about Social Security increases, expansion, and reform right now in Congress. I'll play you this video clip. You're not going to want to miss this, what's being said, and then I'll let you know which state is going to increase Social Security payments. Stay tuned.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In New Mexico, we care for our elders. It is a part of our culture. It is a part of who we are, because our elders are the people who birthed us, who raised us, who cared for us. They are our grandparents and our parents, our aunties and our uncles, our veterans, the people who carry our histories, our cultures, our languages, and our traditions. And that is why it is so outrageous to me, as a New Mexican, that the House GOP would even consider, more or less propose, to gut the critical programs that support our elders. Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. In New Mexico, thousands of New Mexicans depend on Social Security. Our seniors, our elders, people living with disabilities. Over 450,000 New Mexicans depend on Medicare. That is over 20% of our state's population. New Mexicans depend on these programs to access life-saving health care, to provide for their families, to put a roof over their head, to put food on the table. Before Social Security, our elders were left with nothing. Before Medicaid and Medicare, our seniors and our low-income families could not access life-saving health care. In New Mexico, over 12% of our seniors are considered low-income and living below the poverty line. Thousands struggling to maintain housing, to have basic services, to have a roof over their head, to put food on their table. So let me be clear. These programs save lives, and they have secured our elders for generations. And New Mexicans and all Americans should be able to live without fear that politicians here in Washington are going to use their lives for political gain. But here we are on the House floor, and the GOP is playing politics with the lives of our seniors, proposing to gut the fundamental programs that have supported them for generations. And we already know what happens when federal programs are cut. Hospitals close, food insecurity rises, critical programs disappear. And that is why we are fighting as House Democrats and the Biden administration to protect our seniors, to protect these programs, to ensure that they are there for generations to come. That is why we are fighting to protect Social Security and our health care services. It's why we took on Big Pharma 2 years ago and won. It's why we passed the Inflation Reduction Act, which has the largest single expansion of Medicaid since the passage of the Affordable Care Act. It's why we fought to lower prescription drug costs. It's why we capped insulin prices for every American. And it's why I fought in the state legislature to end state taxes on Social Security benefits in New Mexico. So I ask my colleagues, is this how you care for your elders? Is this how they taught you and raised you? Are these the values that you were raised with? Well, I can tell you, that is not how we treat our elders in New Mexico, because we know they depend on these programs, because we know the life-saving care and support that are necessary, and we know that we cannot break the promises to those who cared for us and raised us. And Democrats understand, just like New Mexicans, that we must care for our seniors, and that is why we are fighting back and working every day to make sure that we secure their well-being. I yield back.
I thank the gentlelady from New Mexico for her eloquence. There's no one more eloquent or well-versed on this subject than the Deaness of the House of Representatives, someone who has lived and breathed this issue, has stood up when the other side has referred to Social Security as an entitlement. It is not an entitlement. It's an earned benefit that people have paid for. And you know, Mr. Speaker, the only thing they have to do is look at their pay stub, because on it, it says FICA. That stands for Federal Insurance, not an entitlement, Federal Insurance Contribution. Whose? The people of the United States of America who have paid into this program, and that Congress has not enhanced. This debate is not only about protecting Social Security, it's about expanding benefits that haven't been expanded in more than 50 years. I commend President Biden for having the courage and the temerity on this floor in the State of the Union message to speak directly to the American people, and even those colleagues on the other side who try to decry the efforts of Social Security and the president's plan to make sure that it's solvent by lifting the cap. Imagine that, on people making over $400,000. Marcy Kaptur understands this thoroughly when she talks to people in Ohio that are infuriated, who say, well, wait a minute, you're telling me that a person making $50,000, $75,000, $100,000 pays throughout the year, but somebody making over $400,000 is done paying in January? Or as Ms. Sanchez said, a baseball player after their first at bat? Nobody has fought harder for working people than the gentlelady from Ohio. I yield to her.
What are your thoughts on what was said in Congress? Do you agree, disagree? Seems like a lot of the Democrats are pushing for Social Security increase and expansion. Not hearing much from the Republican side, though. Let's get to this article right here. One state wants to increase Social Security payments for millions. Which state is this? So, if Alaska gets its way, more than 2 million people will see higher Social Security checks monthly. The windfall elimination provision, also known as the WP, reduces benefits for workers who have a pension from a job that didn't take Social Security taxes. Seniors' payments can be significantly lowered based on the number of years they had substantial earnings from work when they did pay Social Security taxes, with the caveat that the WEP can't cut their benefits by more than half the amount of their monthly pension. But Alaska is hoping to thwart the rules of Congress and help 2.1 million people, about 3% of all Social Security beneficiaries, according to the Congressional Research Service. As a result, public employees like teachers would benefit from higher Social Security checks. So this had a vote. It passed 40-0 in the Alaska House of Representatives, and the state Senate voted on 20-0 in favor this month. So the resolution calls on Congress to pass a law that would get rid of the WP for workers who also qualify for retirement benefits under Alaska's public employee pension programs. So if you are in Alaska you qualify for this, you may get a higher Social Security check. Not official yet, but it looks like the votes are almost all done there, and it almost might be official. So I'll keep you updated on that. And that is all the news that I have for you today to hopefully cheer you up a bit. Here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Hi guys, this is Belle's tip of the day, and what I want to tell you is always stay happy. Always be glad for your family, because your family is the ones who made you and made you. So everybody, hope you have a good July 4th. Bye! Now?
If you want to see the latest update on increase, expansion, and reform of Social Security and when the payments are going out, you're going to want to click this video right up here as I go more in detail on that. So click that video now, and I'll see you in that video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.